This is a website that Claude Code created using Opus 5, the strongest model, and it created something that looks pretty generic and like AI slop. It did a good job of trying to clone Apple, but it's not there. Now this is the same model and same platform, Claude Code, but the output looks 10 times better. What exactly happened? Let me show you. 90% of the time when you're building something with AI, the most important thing is the amount of context it has, meaning the amount of information it can gather before it generates an output for you. A lot of times when we're working with front-end design, rather it be cloning the Apple website like you see on screen, or it could be anything, or even doing analysis on a competitor, the information the AI agent actually has access to will determine the quality of the output. In the example you see on the screen, we're giving the AI a simple task, which is to clone the apple.com website. I'm just telling it, clone this apple.com website and just go for it. Now the models have gotten stronger and they're much more capable of cloning a website, for example, which is our simple use case, but the implication is pretty broad. AI is going to use their browser tools to actually go on the website, learn about it, and then create something. And that is exactly what the model is doing. We see that it's going to access the browser and then try to create that website once again. But the thing is, the browser tools are not as capable. It doesn't really pull in actual images from the website. It doesn't really understand how the website is actually designed, or doesn't really get actual assets from the website. And this is not just important for front-end design. Think about when you're building something serious. Think about when you're doing analysis on a competitor, on the products they have. You need to be able to get actual information from that website. And that is where APIs created by Context.dev come into play, who are kindly sponsoring today's video. What Context.dev does is allows you to pull live web data at the moment your product needs it, access web, brand, and company data through APIs, and lets Context.dev handle the data infrastructure layer so you don't have to worry about setting any of that up. It also replaces multiple vendors with a single platform, and you can start building your features sooner and stop worrying about how you're going to actually get access to the data. Not only that, you have access to APIs that allow you to extract any information you need, scrape web content, extract sitemaps, retrieve brand data for the actual company you're working for. In this example, you're going to see Apple, extract style guide, get product information, and much more. All right, to set up Context.dev is pretty simple. All you have to do is copy their sign up setup from their actual website. So I'm going to copy that over and then just paste it into Claude Code. So I'll do that right now. And then I'll press enter. And then Claude is asking you to actually fetch the website, so allow that. So then it will tell you to open up this browser and enter this code in. So now it's installing all the things it needs to fully operate Context.dev, so just make sure you follow through with those. So once you're done setting up Context.dev, you're going to be at this screen, which gives you your API key. And obviously you will use this API key to work alongside it in your coding agent, like Claude Code, for example. And you have a lot of options available. As you can see that you can crawl the website, crawl any site, get clean markdown for every page, web search, scrape markdown, parse bytes, scrape HTML, get the images from the actual website, the sitemap, get any sitemap from any website you choose, screenshot, identity transaction. There are a lot of options over here, and every single option comes with its own code and agent instructions. For example, for our case, when I'm trying to recreate that Apple website, I'm probably going to use web extraction. What this does is that you have options over here. You can run multiple at once, or you can run basically this one, which pulls structured data into your own JSON schema, which will help us create that website. You can also scrape HTML and get the rendered HTML of any URL you choose. We can give it the Apple one, for example. You can also, crawl the website and get clean markdown for every page. So there are a lot of options available. There's also brand intelligence. You can get a better idea of the company and their brand kind of packaging through these APIs. You have the retrieve brand, which resolves a brand by a company identifier, or you can extract details from one page URL. You can get the style guide, pull a full design system from any URL. So this might be helpful for our Apple example as well, or you can extract specific fonts. So let's say you're working on the UI side of things and you really like the font style for Spotify, for example, hypothetically. You can extract the font style and use that in your own UI to help you. There's also this last option, entity enrichment, which is really specific, but it could be useful for a lot of people depending on what you're working on. For For example, if you are working on maybe product analysis, you can extract a single product, pull one structured product from a single URL, extract all their products, get a structured product catalog from a store. So if you're running maybe an e-commerce store or you have your own business and you want to understand maybe what your competitors are doing, how they're pricing things, you can use this option as well. Let's say for your task, you already have an idea which type of extraction you want to run. For example, let's say if it was the crawl website one, all you would do is click on the view code and agent instructions over here. And what this does, it gives you two options. You have the option to put this into your code and run it through PHP, Node, Python, and there's more options over here, Ruby, Go, CURL. And you can make the call at the bottom over here. But if you're working with an agent like we are in Claude Code, you would click on this agent prompt and then you would copy this agent prompt and put it into your actual Claude Code or Codex, whatever you're using, Cursor for example. And this basically gives the agent the instruction about what it needs to do to run a crawl website successfully. So that is pretty much it. All of the hard work, all of the infrastructure needed to actually run this is going to be taken care by Context.dev. But I'm going to show you guys another simple way. Let's say you have a pretty broad task like, just cloning the Apple website. You can tell Claude Code in simple language that, hey, I want to clone the Apple website, use Context.dev and determine which extraction it needs to successfully run this. And Claude Code can do that for you. And it has access to all the tools once you have installed it properly. And it will determine which one to run depending on your use case. So that's what you're seeing on screen. I told Claude Code that I want to clone apple.com and use context.dev, and it will determine which one to actually use. And that's pretty much it. And Claude Code basically determined that, okay, these are the APIs that it's going to use from context.dev. So the first one is the brand retrieve. So that is actually underneath the brand intelligence section I showed you guys. So it's basically understanding what the brand is all about, understanding everything. And you can see that helped the page get the slogan, think different, the location of the place, the NASDAQ symbol, things like that. And then it also used the style guide API, which basically gave it the full design system from the Apple website. We got all the colors, the accents, the CSS custom properties all in there. Then it also used the scrape markdown option, which allowed Claude Code to turn that one URL that we gave it into a clean LLM ready markdown that it could implement and create the website. And then it also used the web scrape images to actually pull actual assets from the website. So you can see all of this was possible because of context.dev's APIs that I referenced. So yeah, this allowed us to create this more professional looking website. And just to show you guys, this was a simple example. We just cloned the Apple website and this is what it looks like. We got actual assets from the actual web page. And if we were to give this same task to Claude Code without context.dev, it would have taken number one much longer. And we've seen the output. I'm going to show you guys that output as well. But first, let's just take a moment to appreciate this. We got the actual product images, things like that. Versus this generation, you can see we have SVG code instead. We don't have actual assets from there. We might get the text to look pretty much similar. We might get the layout to be about the same. But in this, you can see the difference. It's day and night, guys. And that is why using tools like context.dev makes a lot of sense because you're giving your agent the actual information it needs to create something solid. So yeah, I think this is a tool that's worth it. And context.dev is actually free to try out. So if you guys want to try this out for yourself, I'll put a link in the description as well. But you can see, you can try it out. You have 500 credits one time. You can scrape up to 500 pages. And then if you decide to, okay, this is something I'm going to use a lot, then you can subscribe to any of their subscription plans. You have the developer plan, which is about $25 a month, or the pro plan, which is $149 a month. There's also a yearly plan, which gives you about 2 months off. So the $21 a month equivalent versus $25. So it's worth checking out. And I just showed you guys a simple example of what you can do with context.dev. But this product allows you to read the web live, ground rag in fresh content. You can also run deep research. You can also autofill onboarding forms. So that allows you to sign up clients much faster compared to before. Whatever the case is, there are a lot of options. All you have to do is choose the data your product needs, connect it to your workflow, and then continue working. But that's it for today's video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Follow our new newsletter as well at universeofai.beehive.com. As well, subscribe to the main channel World of AI and support us on X by following the Universe of AIZ as well. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.